We have somebody on the phone. Murky is on the phone right now. Murky, what's up, brother?
Thanks
Where
for
you
calling
calling?
in.
Thanks for calling. Where you calling from?
Oh, man, you talked over me right in the start when we sort of did crosstalk, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to use this now. My name is Murky. I'm the cold open guy for the Not Even a Show. We're potentially in the cold open right now, although, like I said, with that tough start, it might not end up being the cold open. But can we get a let's start the show going anyways, Pascal?
Sure. Let's get started, man.
Well, that's not exactly what I said, but it'll do. Thanks. Bye.
No problem. I have no idea what that was.
The fact remains that it's not even a show.
What's the name of the character again? Hi everybody, Chris James here for the Not Even a Show, and I am really excited to be here and bring you another episode. We just keep doing them. Every week we just keep fucking doing them, and I've got a time machine as well. Don't forget that. I use that time machine each and every week, and this week I used it to go into the future and learn about what makes people cool in 75 years. I want to know what the trends are with fashion and otherwise, and it turns out that it's this. This is cool guys wear this. So if you look at me and you think, wow, that guy looks like a fucking dipshit, well, guess what? I'm way ahead. I'm cool in the future. Anyways, never mind the future. Let's deal with the present, and it's a gift, and I've got it for you, and it's this episode, as we've got a mini JJ Snap plus 3 Techhead Terry calls, as he calls Marc, Dion, Tom Gulley, and Tony Bruno. First, though, every single channel has their white whale, and I have mine, and I don't just call him a white whale because he's a big fat old white guy. I call him a white whale because I've been trying to call him since I started this damn channel, and I finally got through, and you're finally gonna get to see it, and it's fucking Rush Limbaugh, folks. Check it out.
Chris in Vancouver in Canada, great to have you. Thank you for calling, sir. Welcome to the EIB network.
Hey, Rush. First, I want to say, even as a centrist Democrat, someone who calls himself a centrist Democrat, I prefer your show over Don Lemon's show any day of the week. As far as I'm concerned, Don Lemon's show is not even a show, really.
He said it. He said it.
But anyways,
Well, you know, wait a minute. You're in the sense that this isn't a show either. It is a program. Now, I can convert it into a show for 10 minutes or 15 or 20. But in a strict definition, this is a program, not a show.
You have the ability to make it a show. That's my point. I also, speaking of left-right stuff, I was curious. I was very surprised to see, and I was curious if you were surprised at all that you got named Man of the Decade by that magazine. It was sort of a surprise to me.
I was named Man of the Decade by a magazine?
Yeah, it was a Bloated Red Blowhard magazine.
Congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation.
Bloated blow. Unfamiliar with this award. I get so many that I can't keep track of them. I've not heard of Bloated Blowhard magazine.
You're a goon. You're going to go down in history as one of the all-time goons. I'll see you later, pal.
Oh, this was a seminar caller. Aha. Well, what was his original point? Why? What? You took it off too quick. What was his? Okay. See, I knew we spend too much on military aidism. Okay. Well, that should have told you that this guy was a
Classic statistic.
Techhead Terry called Marc Dion a while ago and talked a little bit of tech, but Marc Dion really wasn't into it very much and didn't seem to want to be Terry's friend, and also didn't know much about tech. But he is an old man and he is quite wise, so Techhead Terry decided to call him up and get a little bit of advice on friendship. Check it out.
Let's take a call. Hi, you're on with Marc Dion. Talk to me.
Hey, Mark, it's Terry calling, the tech head guy. I won't take up too much of your time because
Sure.
I know you don't like me too much anymore.
I never said that.
Well, I watched the footage after I end the call, and I saw the way you responded last time. But that's fine. I just want to get some advice from you. I have a couple hosts, Tony, Bruno, and Tom Gulley, who both potentially could be my good tech friends. Tony Bruno's a sports guy who seems cooler on the surface, but maybe a Trump guy. And Tom Gulley is kind of a weird, freaky dude who seems to get a little too attached. Who would you choose if you were me, a tech-loving guy named Terry?
Never heard of either one of them.
Perfect. Thanks, Mark. You have a good day, my friend.
Sure thing. See, that's the kind of advice you can only get by tuning into this station. Right? Right. I need some advice, Mark. I don't know. Yeah, great, right?
Having gotten no advice from Marc Dion, Terry decided to call Tony Bruno, who he spoke to a couple of weeks ago, and confront him about some troubling social media posts that he had seen that led Terry to believe that Tony Bruno may or may not be a right-wing dipshit. Check it out.
This is your friend Terry, who actually has information on Australia.
You have an Australian update? Let's go down under. Terry, what's going on, man?
Hey, Tony, I'm not from Australia. I'm your friend Terry who loves tech, and I'm disappointed. I didn't realize you were a hardcore right-wing lunatic. I was trying to be friends with you.
I'm not a hardcore right-wing lunatic. I'm a realist who looks at things objectively and doesn't have any agenda driven down my throat. I see
Tony,
things for what they
you're
are.
an old man who's lost touch with the world and with the current generation. And I looked at your Twitter. It is an absolute mess. It looks like my aunt's Twitter account. You're an old person. You're a baby boomer. You've lost touch.
Oh, absolutely. I've lost touch.
That's why I was cleaning up trash in the city in the 80s.
When everybody else was sitting around jerking off and going to discotheques, guys like you.
Speaking of tech.
That's why I drove the first. I drove the first.
Alive in the 80s, you old kook.
I drove the first. I drove the first Nissan Altima hybrid in the state of California, pal. While you were sitting there, probably in your gas-guzzling motor. What do you call it? Motor.
Tony.
Yes.
Tony, you used to be a good radio host. You used to have something to say. Now listen to you. You get so worked up, but you can't even think of the next thing to say. You're a radio host. It's the only thing you're meant to do is think of the next thing to say, and you can't even do it. You're letting your
I'm not like.
emotions get
I know.
the
I
best
should have a teleprompter like all of our. I should be like Joe Biden, who is so lucid, who doesn't
Donald
even
Trump
know,
uses
who
the
doesn't even know
teleprompter
what
every
state he's
time.
in. Joe Biden doesn't even know what city he's in. I at least know where I am. Where you live. You live in your mom's basement, sitting there and masturbating to Hillary Clinton skin shots. That's what you do. Get him out of here. I never hang up on people.
This guy is a douchebag.
This guy is what's wrong with the world. This is a guy who sits at home and he worries about people having a different opinion. I give facts on the show. That's the reality of the world I live in.
Not slap dicks like this guy Terry.
Who shouldn't even be allowed to have internet access in his house, the way he thinks.
All right, let's take a little bit of a break in this Terry saga to check back in with our main man, JJ McCartney, as I called him up to tell him about a little bit of sadness I was dealing with, and you can see how he reacts to it. It's not great. Check it out.
Rocking better shirts than you. Loving the JJ crew.
IQ, I wanted to get your thoughts on the Soleimani assassination, as it's being called, and tell us
What we accomplished last week.
Well, first of all, let's get the terminology correct. Soleimani was eliminated, not assassinated.
IQ.
Yes.
We go to the phones. Hello, caller. You're on with IQ Al Rassouli on the JJ McCartney Show.
I'm feeling as blue as your shirt.
Yeah, you're just a jackass, aren't you?
Go to hell. I say that in all sincerity because you're already halfway there anyway. So just go ahead and get it over with. Spare us.
With no other options, Terry decided to call his old frenemy Tom Gulley, who he's talked tech nicely to a couple of times but also fought with, and he decided to see if he would maybe be able to rekindle this friendship. And spoiler alert, he can kind of for a bit, I guess. Check it out.
Hi, and welcome to the Tom Gulley Show. You're on the air.
Hi, Tom. It's Terrence, and I'm calling to apologize to you.
Yeah.
I just wanted to apologize. I was rash earlier in the 2019, and you were right about Tony Bruno. He's actually very nasty, and he was so incredibly mean to me today. And I was wondering if you would accept my apology and accept me back into your life as a tech friend.
Yeah, in fact, I'm considering starting a cartoon called Tech Friends about a team of super tech people that have adventures and solve murders and world crises.
Oh, that sounds like fun, and this is the type of back and forth I remember that we used to have, and it reminds me of the good old times. How was your New Year, Tom? What did you get up to?
Well, part of my New Year was I actually had a pretty good time over the holidays because I went back to Dallas where I was on the radio for quite some time, and I was on a sports show that I was on for a long time, and they asked me what I was up to now, and I told them.
And we actually talked about you.
What?
Yeah.
You were talking about me to your new friends?
No, these are old friends. I surprised them because I haven't been on the air with them for about 7 years. I went from working with them for about 5 years to then CBS moved me to the morning news anchor position of their 50,000 watt AM station. So they
50,000 watt AM station. Now you're talking my language.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can hear it in 37 states at nighttime. So they asked me they asked me about the Trolls Welcome thing, and I told them there was a guy who actually thought that I would try to contact him off of the show. We laughed and laughed.
So you laughed at me?
Well, we laughed about the notion that I would contact anyone after the show. And they started going, well, you were on this show for 5 years, and we had thousands of callers that you interacted with, and you never called any of them. I'm like, I know.
Tom,
I know.
Have you ever heard the concept of thou dost protest too much? Now I find out you're going and telling other people that you're not going to call me. It makes it pretty clear that you are going to try to track me down. I don't want that, please. Tom, I'm
I
sorry,
only
bye.
mentioned it to them because it's so hilariously ridiculous and laughable that we laughed and, he hung up again. See, I was going to accept his apology. But now he's turned right back into the same douche tool he's always been. See, he's never going to get beyond that. He's never going to get beyond, I'm never going to call you. Oh, but you should have heard the howls of laughter when I mentioned, this guy actually thought I was going to call him or try to track him down or anything like that. It was pretty hilarious. So, did you ever make fun of somebody so much that you feel like you have to thank them for all the good times you've had? I really should have thanked Terry when he called in. And for some reason, this time he was Terrence.
Hello, I'm Terrence.
I don't know. I don't care where he's from. I know when he calls in here, he uses a like a VPN number. He doesn't use his real number. Because the number he calls in on is from Fort Worth, Texas. And I know he's not from there. So
I don't care where he's from.
Hi, and welcome to Tom Gulley Show. You're on the air.
Hey, Tom. Listen, I can get you that guy Terry's address if you want it.
No, I'm not interested in where Terry is or tracking him down at all. That's not.
Okay, gotcha. I'll hit you with it off the air.
No, I don't need it anytime. I'm not going to call him back. I'm not interested in. Yeah, I hung up.
Once there was this man who liked to call into a show and talk about their tech, and when the host will get mad, he will just talk about tech anyway. I can't really explain it. He's always just love tech. 110101 tech. Once there was this man whose name was Terry, and he just wanted a friend. But when he tried to find one, he was met with racist and creeps. He just wants to talk tech, he just wants a tech friend. 110101 tech. All right, everybody, that's the end of the episode. And next week, I am contractually obligated to give you an update on the World Pranking League. You probably forgot about that, and you probably thought I forgot about it. You probably thought, oh, did you come up with an idea and then forget about it and you're not going to do anything? Wrong. I'm coming back to it now. And we're not doing well. We're not doing great. We're doing very poorly, and I will give you a full update next week. And I do have a little bit of a plan on how to rectify our issue in the standings. Anyways, go over and check out the Patreon episode. It's a beauty this week. We got a Knock 'em Dead call. We've got the return of the Steve-O-Path, and I'm telling you, this Steve-O-Path call is a thing of legend. And we also call a guy who looks exactly like Anton from No Country for Old Men. So it's a fun episode, and it's fun, and we're all having fun. And this is, remember, what a cool guy looks like. So if you see someone walking down the street and they look like this, think twice. Maybe consider to try to have sex with them or whatever. Okay, see you later. Bye.